Check me out right here, yo.
Yo, the sun don't shine forever, but as long as it's here, then we might as well shine together. Better now than never, business before pleasure. P. Diddy and the fam, who you know do it better. Yeah, right, no matter what, we in tight.
Yeah. I feel like I can always run through a wall when I hear this song. Anyway, what's up, everyone? Good morning. It is 6:31. It is November 7th. It is actually 1 month since the terrorist attack on Israel, and they still have over 200 plus hostages. Send them home. At this point, here we are. We had a big week in the market, right? A little digestive action yesterday, so it feels as if maybe this active sequence can continue. My name is Scott Rudler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's 6:30-ish club, where we try and figure out how to act responsibly, work on our process, enjoy our routine, because you have to do it every day, and if you don't like it, you're not going to do it. And we try and figure out how to do the small things, so then we can set ourselves up for bigger and better things down the road. So where are we at today? You know, yesterday you had pretty much what you would have thought. You know, opened up a little bit. You were able to trim into some strength. If you were a little bit over hedged, maybe put on a little bit more hedges. And then we came in a little bit. You were able to cover some of the hedges. And now today, a little softer open. So pretty constructive action in my humble opinion. This is the type of action you want for a few days to digest a big move, to set up some bull type flags, to give you points of references and define patterns to trade from. So if you look here at the chart of the SPYs, pretty fast and furious move, right? From the lows of when we were minus 55 on the oscillator to plus 77, and all we did is have some inside action. So some guys like, hey, red dog, you know, we're going to fill all these gaps. I don't think we're going to fill all these gaps, but, you know, we could see a move to a 430-ish. That would make some sense, so 431-ish. As of now, you have 433.68, that's yesterday's low. And then you also have 433, which is Friday's low, and that's the gap pivot. So, you know, a few things could happen. Okay, it would be very impressive. Very impressive. It would keep momentum tight. It would probably keep the speed of this move fast if we held this gap, went sideways, and then a little bit later this week tried to take out 436 and tried to take out this pretty big resistance area. That might be too hard to do, you know, just to hold right here and go. We could fill this gap, see 431-ish, okay, which would be a retest of the 50-day, and come off there and still be super constructive. If all of a sudden, you know, this little area breaks, you know, you can almost put your retracement rules in. It's really not the end of the world either if we see a move towards this 426, but this has to hold. Then you would see, you know, what some people are saying could be a little bit of like an inverted head and shoulders pattern where this is the left shoulder, this is the right shoulder, you know, and you could make a case that this right here could wind up being, you know, the right shoulder, a little higher shoulder, which would mean there's demand, and then all of a sudden we take this out and take out this descending trend line and get a better move into year end. That's just like a little forward look. Obviously, you got to trade for the day, and you got to massage your positions and look for the relative strength or weakness. But I could see this happening where we hold in here. The question is, where do we hold in here? Again, do we hold 433 for a few days and then take that out? Do we hold here for a few days and then all of a sudden then we get a little predatory? Once you get a false sense of security, they break it below, and then we see here, and then we go. Again, multiple plans, my friends. You know, you have to look at the leaders, look at the TLT, look at the small caps, look at all these things to give us some clues. But right now, in order to get to 433, what does it have to do? It's got to get below 433.68. In order to get to 431, it's got to break below 433. And as of right now, all we are is down $1.38 at 434.31, which is above yesterday's low. Okay, so that is where we're at. What am I going to do today? I've sold a lot of premium, like I told you guys yesterday. I had a little bit too much premium sold. I started selling it on Friday. It took a little bit away from my active longs and my swing longs. And yesterday I was able to add a little bit more cover in the hole. So I actually got paid twice on some of my longs and on my hedges. So patiently, I was able to, recollect that. And then I did short a little bit more premium, which I'll probably let expire today and tomorrow. And what I'll try and do is I'll try and buy a few things in the hole that I kind of want to stay with as swing positions, which I've been in for almost a week, which we'll get into. So you can look at the same type of setup here on the Qs. Qs have been holding higher. The Qs have been showing relative strength. The Qs held the 200-day while the other indices didn't. So right here you have 366.91, right? That is yesterday's low. If they want to shake the tree a little bit, which isn't really shaking the tree, that's a high branch up there. They got to get below and stay below 366.91, and then you have this gap here, which is 364. Okay, if we were to break this and see that, it's still very impressive. Okay, if they want to shake the tree up a little bit more, which I'm not saying they're going to, then maybe they worked its way down towards all these moving averages, which are starting to curl, which still would be, a lot of commitment to last week's move. It all just depends on how fast this is going to happen. Are we going to chop around for a week, or are we going to chop around for 2-3 days? Then you also have Powell on Wednesday, Thursday. How hawkish or dovish is he going to be? We shall see. But ultimately, this is your point of reference. Here are the Qs. The Qs are only down $1, right? 366.18. So we're well above 366.91. If we hold and build a high-level flag, again, that'd be pretty impressive. That would make it very easy on the active longs to sit. And then all of a sudden we take that out, and then you have 373 and all these other levels. We did break above this descending trend line. Holding above it, again, would be I would just show you how much demand there is. But even breaking a little bit below it and seeing this spot would still be good. And then again, this would probably be the gap that needs to hold to keep things from getting a little choppier. The IWM yesterday already went into the, into this gap was up here as of yesterday. Now it's a little bit below. So the question is, do we hold 170, 140, or does it, come in a little bit more? We actually did really well buying options. I had 2 different sets of options that I rolled up. Yesterday I bought back a little bit of the short side. Today maybe I buy a little bit of the long side. And I do think, we try and hold in here. And this too, I actually looked at this. This looks kind of like it could be an inverted head and shoulders pattern where here's your left shoulder, here's your head. This right now could start to build a right shoulder. So then at some point, this gets taken out, and then we see a move towards here, which would give us another nice trade. So again, last week's move was so fast and furious. Hopefully you participated. Now the question is, what type of move does it set up, moving forward, which is why we're all here trying to figure that out. The XLE, I'm just avoiding. Energy just is not acting well. Everybody got really, really too bullish on energy. It's not the place to be. This bounce was small. It broke the inside range. Just watch this 84.09. I have no interest. As far as the names that I've been trying to swing trade and hold and massage and buy on dips and sell higher, which has been working. Microsoft's been awesome. Probably my, really, really #1 trade. We got involved here. It hit a high of 354. It's a little extended. I'm a little smaller. I came in a little smaller than I came in yesterday, and we'll see how it continues. But all in all, really nice trade. Meta's been a great swing trade. Meta's not as strong. It's not as elevated in the chart, but it's hanging in here. So what am I going to do today? I'm probably going to try and buy a dip a little bit. I did sell some into strength yesterday while I was up $2. It's actually, down $1.30, 314.30. What's this low here? This is 311. I would think if they want to make it easier to hold today, it should not get really below 311. It'd be great if it gets to 311-ish. You could buy it, comes in, starts to build a pocket pivot here above the moving averages, and then at some point later this week or in the days ahead, it tries to break above 318 to see a move out of this channel. So this is just my thought process. If it were to break, this 311-ish area, I would think that would make it trickier. But then that probably means, the SPYs are breaking 330-ish or 430-ish. We'll see. So anyway, I've been in this trade probably since right around here, and I've been massaging. It's been working. So I'm going to try and stay with it and see, how we can continue to manage it. As far as Apple, first day back in yesterday for me. I haven't been in Apple in a while. It's been a laggard. It's been out of play from 198 all the way down. I bought a little bit in the hole yesterday. It got above 177, hit 179. What am I going to do today? I bought it in weakness and sold some. I'm probably going to buy some back. Right now, Apple is showing a little bit of relative weakness, a little bit compared to some of the other names. So I would look to probably say, hey, I would think if they want to make this easy or keep it very constructive, it really should not get below 177.60, and then yesterday's low is 176.21. If it breaks 176-ish, then I probably would get out of this and say, you know what, Apple's just not ready. So this is your key spot for Apple, for it to show some commitment to this move off the lows, to this bounce off of earnings in here. So we'll see. So I'm gonna I'll be buying a little bit on the dip versus a 5-15-minute low, and we'll see how that goes. Google, working its way into this gap. This gap was here, and then it broke into it, and now this gap goes up here. We'll continue to see how much it fills. Not the best setup, but we'll see. I think AMD still, could be bought on dips. Here's yesterday's low. I don't know if it holds yesterday's low, but it might. This is a bigger spot. What's this? This is 110.22, 110.22. That's yesterday's low. Again, if it wants to hold that and build an upper level flag, that would be nice. We'll see if that's the case. I'm not in an AMD. I bought it the day of earnings, had a huge call spread and made me some good money. So now we'll see, does it want to build an upper level flag and go sideways, or will they shake the tree down to this area? It's only down 75 cents. It's not the end of the world. As far as NVIDIA, fast and furious move. I actually lost money yesterday shorting NVIDIA on the open. I thought maybe I can get a cute short, cute fade. Ultimately, the stock is acting stronger again. I know everyone thought perhaps, oh my God, it's going to break this, go to 366. Well, this candle last week said, no, no, no. It was a week ago that 398 got reclaimed, 404 got reclaimed, and boom, it is a little extended. So I'll watch this today. I probably won't be looking to, go buy NVIDIA right away. But we'll see. This is your upper level area. Yesterday's pullback got you this spot. So in order to get down to there, it's got to get below and stay below 448 first, or 449. 449. It'd be pretty impressive if that holds. Again, to make it a lot easier on the active bulls to build an upper level flag. Tesla has not been special. Tesla, the same day NVIDIA reclaimed its key active area to give a little bit of relief, Tesla did the same thing. Very noisy. Yesterday some guys made money shorting the open and did well. Some bought the dip into this area. I would say there is a chance today it can go from red to green. This low here is what? This is 215. This is 211. So let's put this here. This is 215. So I might try it today just for a trade from red to green. I'm not in Tesla. I bought some calls yesterday. Made some money there. I have a little bit left over. I would think that this 222 isn't as important anymore. Kind of traded through that, traded around it. So now the question is, do we get a little bit of a pocket pivot here to go sideways to increase or not? Tesla is not leading this move. I like when Tesla's leading this move. That's when I'm trading it a lot more actively. When it's not, I just pick and choose my spots, a little bit more carefully. What else? TLTs came in a bunch yesterday. It's been good to know what the TLTs are doing. Yesterday, TLTs were, first of all, on Friday, it hit 89.05, which it's good to know where the moving averages are. I actually sold most of my TLT calls into that area, which was nice. So I did buy some back yesterday. And the TLTs are up a little bit this morning, right? TLTs are up 50 cents, 87.20. This is your lower range. Kind of sloppy. It was much easier to get long here as it broke above this lower triangle to make money. Now it's now the question is, does it hold this gap area or not? At this point for today, see if it holds up 50 cents. If it were to go up 50 cents and down 50 cents, chances are some computers will be programmed to sell, and then things might get a little choppier. You had a lot of pro earnings gaps in the past 2 weeks that worked really well, where maybe you could buy a little weakness. Where were those? Well, first of all, ANET was awesome for a lot of people. That's not ANET. ANET is right here. That's not ANET either. This is ANET. It's getting a little sloppy up here. I personally am not trading this name, but some guys bought it after the pro earnings gap. So now see if it holds 208. I think Palantir is interesting. You had a big gap up. Name gave you a little bit of follow through. So now I would say as long as this spot holds, it could make it easier to hold. If not, this gap's important. What's this? This is 1776. It sounds like a familiar year, doesn't it? So I might even buy versus that. If I don't have many small caps. I'm in mostly mega cap tech, so I would think that if you wanted to buy a dip, this area should hold in Palantir, and then maybe you could reposition. Shop also had a decent move. Okay, this was your pro earnings gap. Here's your descending trend line. Now see if this support from yesterday holds. This is what is that? 59.71. Low here is 59.71. So that is your point of reference from yesterday. See if it holds. Here we are. At this point now, it looks like the SPY's got a little weaker, 434-ish. I actually went over it with the alpha team yesterday. I'm like, guys, I think we're going to be down open. So I'm not long the SPYs. I've been long the SPYs since last week. I'm actually short a lot of premium. I do have a little Microsoft on, which I'm probably not going to look to add real fast. I have a little Meta on that I'm going to look to add. I have a little Apple on that I'm going to look to add. Little Google. I might even play the SPYs with a Q's verse, a 5-15-minute low. I'll probably cover some premium and continue to see, how we hold in here. Again, how elevated will this move be? What upper level will hang in there to show commitment and speed? 433.68 is a key. Does that hold today? If it does, very impressive. If that breaks, 433 is next. If it fills the gap, not a big deal. All in all, look how elevated this would be versus where we were. And then, this would be the line in the sand. Again, multiple plans. My gut is telling me I don't think this week we get below 431. But I can't say whether or not we're going to, test this gap at some point today or tomorrow. So I'm going to probably look to buy a dip, see what can go red to green, use a signal of relative strength, and continue to trade around these positions. And once it starts to be hard to trade around these positions where you buy a dip and they run you over and they break levels, then I say, okay, you know what, let me let a little market discovery come back and not be as, in a rush to buy upper levels as the market proves what's next. Do I think we could see 444 to 447, into Christmas, hold in here, see that area? I do. I think it's a high probability that that happens. As far as my wife's blood in the street account, I do have two tiers in, not 4. I would have liked to have gotten 4. I only got 2 because we didn't go lower. And I don't sell that, until we make new highs in the S&P, because that's a longer term account. And I'm not thinking it's going to happen this year, but I don't see why it can't, happen in 2024. But we'll see. One day at a time, one trade at a time, one setup at a time. How do you execute with confidence? You think clearly. How do you think clearly? You exercise. You keep your brain sane, and you control your decisions because you can't control the conditions. With that said, stand up for what you believe in, and if you don't, you're always sitting on your ass. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. The world needs a nice, moderate, strong voice to drown out the far left and the far right, because they're always making as much noise as possible, which could drive everybody insane. Later, guys.